resistance did you meet when you moved from a free tool to a paid platform, Jen?
There isn't a massive difference between the functionality, and it's not like you look back on it and go, oh well, I remember 2 years ago that it took me 6 weeks to deploy this tag, or I recall that this workaround is perhaps not optimizing our website. You know, all of this stuff is not necessarily as visible as you think it is, and a lot of people have built their whole roles around supporting these free tools, and they feel that there won't be a role for them if you transition onto a paid platform. But for me, it's not about replacing resource, it's about making sure that that resource is used in the best way possible. If I've got a very talented web manager or web designer, then I don't want them spending time on deploying tags. I want them spending their time creating a wonderful experience for our customers to engage with.
And some of the resistance that I've come across is more around, I guess, understanding why do we need this? How is this different from what we've got today? And then I guess that comes.
What if we pay for the license cost and it doesn't work?
Yeah,
you know, what's the comeback?
And again, it comes back to supporting those, having a list of specific answers to the questions you know that are relevant for your business. And I think that's how we've kind of won a lot of people around. Again, in financial services, what Tealium was able to bring to the table in terms of security and governance actually closed a lot of those conversations down very quickly. It provided a lot of things we didn't have to the same level before. So we were able to really kind of quite quickly close down some of those sort of naysayers.
And with data management being so important, it's all about the roadmap from there. So not the roadmap of the existing product that you're using, but the roadmaps to other technologies and other parts of the Tealium platform that enable us to engage with audiences or stream live events into a different system altogether, where we can then aggregate data. So it's about really having a roadmap to be able to build out a complete ecosystem. Or to put it another way, it's about being able to create that airport control tower where you've got a view of all of your data. If you haven't got an enterprise platform that works across all of those solutions, then getting that view is very, very difficult. And for me, that ultimately was the true limitation of a free tool. I don't think that people recognised in the organisation that free tools came at a cost initially. Not at all. I think people just get so ingrained in habitual behaviour, really, of this is the way that we work, we do things in-house, we keep it all under our control, barring this one dedicated agency that we've chosen to work with. And I think we are naturally creatures of habit, so we just want to carry on doing the same thing, and there's always resistance to change, no matter what it is. The way that I got round it in the end was to do a pilot. So instead of deploying Tealium IQ's tag on all of the pages of our website, I just picked a section of it, and then basically had an opportunity the next month where a tag needed to be deployed on a part of the website that was tagged up with Tealium and a part of the website that wasn't tagged up with Tealium. Tealium's took 6 hours. The part that was using the free tools took 6 weeks. So there I had my data point. But even getting to the point where they would allow me to get that data point was difficult, because these free tools aren't bad. That's the point. We're not talking about apples and pears here. We're just talking about a better class of apple. So it isn't always as straightforward as people think it is to be able, some people in an organisation, like if you talk to anybody in a financial institution, well, why would you want to lose a free tool? There's just too much risk in that. But the free tools are so good nowadays that actually making that distinction can be quite difficult. But it comes back to what I said at the beginning. It's all about having that person at the end of the phone and the ability to be able to influence the terms and conditions of a contract with that vendor. And it's those things that you cannot do with a free tool, and you also don't necessarily get there in the quickest way when it comes to deploying it, as of course Alex and his team know.
And what convinced the doubters in the organisation that paying for a platform enterprise solution was worthwhile?
I think it's difficult because you're not always going to get the tangible benefits until you've actually deployed the technology. But in my case, I just said, look, I get it. You know, there's doubt there. We've got this way of working that is working to a degree. It's not completely broken. I get that. So let me deploy it on one part of the website, and then we'll have a race. Let's see who can deploy the tags quicker. And we had a project which then covered two parts of the business. One part was tagged with Tealium and the other part was tagged with the free tool. It took 6 hours to get the tag live, tested and working with Tealium. It took 6 weeks with the free tool, and there I had my evidence, and that convinced the doubters because the data was plain to see.
We took a slightly different approach. We did the same idea with the pilot, but ours was to take those doubters' questions up front to say, okay, well, what does success look like? What do you think we can achieve for this? And we took those as our list of requirements, and then as the output to the pilot, we're able to then tick off each of those items and present that back. These are things you asked, these are the answers, and off we went.
For me, one of the other things was security. So knowing that you're working with a vendor who understands that they don't own the data, they are simply enablers of it. So you are not signing your data away into some big pot in a cloud somewhere so they can do aggregated analysis on it and then use that data for their other products. Tealium, it very much believes in first party data, and the first party is the organisation, not us. So for me, obviously using a security angle at a security company was the way to go. And it convinced people that using a platform that everybody could buy into globally would give us a better data framework to work with and less data silos to manage.
I think from our side, again, when I was working at HSBC, we came from a slightly different space where we came from not having a solution. And then it was the question of, do we go down the free route or an enterprise solution? And it was, exactly as you said, it's the security, it's my favourite word is the governance and the controls around it. We have actually, Tealium, we have a number of customers who join us who've come similar route to Jen, where they've had the free solution. It's taken them so far, but they need more. And that's less, I think, kind of free paid. That's more just the nature of the Tealium platform. I think it provides slightly more in that context.
How do you ensure that colleagues in specific regions buy into a global enterprise platform?
I think it's providing an answer to the questions that they have, or fulfilling a need that's not yet been fulfilled. And again, where we came into, so in my previous role where we moved into sort of tag management, and even actually with the analytics vendors, the focus was very much on what did we have today and what will this give us for tomorrow, and providing that roadmap. And that level of understanding is gained from, I guess, kind of the skills you already have, working with tools, understanding, allowing those vendors to understand your problems, to be able to support you to answer those questions. And that's quite a good one, I guess, in terms of the support that an enterprise solution is able to give you, rather than kind of look in their frequently asked questions as to whether it answers the question that you have, versus an enterprise tool where you might have an account manager, you might have a sales team, a deployment manager. You can ask specific questions. We have this need, or we have this problem. How can we solve it? And to be able to get that response back that fits your business needs, that then allows you to support and provide the information back to your wider stakeholders and to the other geographies that maybe haven't come across those issues yet, or sort of are looking to solve the same issues.
And wherever a person is based, if they know that the team that is managing the software is well supported, they will feel supported themselves. So it's not that you necessarily have to give up that autonomy or control over the solution as a central team. It's just about ensuring that everybody knows that it is an enterprise platform that the organisation has invested in, and it has these routes of accountability to make sure that it is delivered in all regions correctly, and this is the level of support they have. This support is 24/7. all of those reassurances can help make sure that people across the globe buy into an enterprise platform. But as Alex said in the beginning, it's very important to make sure that it addresses a need for everybody, and you can show them that there will be tangible benefits by going with the big corporate decision.